Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. This is my channel, Novel Serendipity, and this is the last month of the year. Can you believe it? Me neither. But anyways, you know, I'm playing it next year and everything, so not super exciting, but I still made my TBR this month a little bit more ambitious. So last month I accidentally only rolled 2 times instead of 3 or something like that. So I think I've done that a couple months ago as well. So I rolled 4 times this month to kind of make up for it because we have a long holiday. My work, I get off from Christmas Eve to New Year's Day or something like that like whole time span. I have a couple of flights where I'll need books to read and all of that. So preparedness. But anyways, I want to get into these rolls and these books because I put a lot of thought into what books I wanted to end my year with. So I was both enjoying my reading month to end up the year strong, but still work through some of my needed to read books kind of thing, but we'll get to that. Anyways, here we go. Okay, last month I only did 2 rolls instead of 3. I don't know, I wasn't counting. So I am going to be ambitious and do 4 rolls this month. It's the last month and yeah, let's see what I can do. But this is where I left off on this little Pokeball right here. And here's my die for my first roll. 3. So I have to go this way. So 1, 2, 3. And we're going to random number generate 134. So it's kind of up there. Ooh. So rounding down as per usual is 131. The theme for this one is water travel. I would love to catch a Lapras. So here is 1. So we have Lapras and the theme is water travel. So for this one, I am going with a book that in my last video, I let you guys know all the books that I wanted or needed to read to kind of be where I need or want to be starting 2024. So this first book is actually not on that list. I do fit those books into this TBR in a little bit, but I needed something where it didn't necessarily feel like homework. So luckily this book fits into that category perfectly. So if you remember last month, I said I was going to read Saint by Adrienne Young, and then in my newest video, or 2 videos ago, I didn't get to it. For water travel, it seems perfect to have like a pirate person going around the seas via water travel, via a boat. So I will get to this because I really want to. And then I'll probably reread the other books. But for now, Saint is first and foremost on my list for December. And roll 2 is a 2. So 1, 2, random number generate is 110, and that is a coughing. So and that is smoke on the cover. So 109, because I don't have a 110 in this guy. Explanation on that is in my very first video for this TBR game. But for first evolution, rounding down is 109 for coughing with smoke on the cover. Don't want to forget this again. We have a system. So number 2. Then we have coughing, and for coughing it is smoke on the cover. So like I said, I was trying to find books that are on my Kindle, that I can easily get off Libby, that I have on Kindle Unlimited, so on and so forth. And I did find one that I recently actually bought. It's not Kindle Unlimited, it's just Kindle, I think, just an ebook. But that is Touched by Fire by Kel Carpenter. Do I remember what this is about? Of course I don't. I read so many book synopsis every day. Let's see. So it's Touched by Fire, a slow burn urban fantasy romance, Magic Wars Book 1. And I did buy it. It's not Kindle Unlimited, it's just an ebook that I bought. But the synopsis is, I'm hired to stop a demon summoning. The last thing I expect is to end up bonded to one instead. That's all I kind of want to know. Supernatural, slow burn, fantasy romance, kind of like in the title right here. All I need to know. The cover does look very smoky, so I'm fitting it in for coughing for smoke on the cover. So roll 3. 1. What are these low rolls? I think last time I went that way, so I think this time I'm gonna go this way. And random number generate 122. And this one is Mr. Mime. 122 exactly. Themes, acting, play, etc. So this one I might have to get creative with, but for now, roll 3. I may be bending the rules just a little bit, though there are no rules because this is my TBR game, but I did get Mr. Mime, and the theme is acting, play, etc. So I need this guy right here. I need this. So let me explain how I'm going to try to fill this prompt. So the themes is acting, play, etc. And I have a lot of books that are focused around like music. So I was thinking maybe I could change it to like performance, which I may do in the future. But for now, I am going to try to pick one of those books I said I needed to read by the end of the year. In a couple of videos ago, I keep mentioning that videos because maybe I'm keeping myself accountable. I don't know. But I am going with Percy Jackson and the Olympians, book 3, The Titan's Curse. And let me tell you why. Everyone always talks about play of the Greek gods, the play on life, all the Greek stories and so on and so forth. And so when I thought of play, acting, etc., for some reason, maybe it's because I've been reading like the Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini books, where it's constantly like, it's like a play, like you're fated to play out a certain part of your life or your entire life. Like it's fated, it's in the stars. And so I am picking play, etc., whatever, for Mr. Mime as Percy Jackson. And if you don't like it, play your own TBR game. That's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm needing to read the 3rd book because I've never read the series all the way through, ever. So, also need to make a dent in it because it's been a couple years since I've read book 2, so kind of excited for that. And as promised, an extra roll because last month I only did 2 instead of 3 because I'm still learning to count apparently, and that is 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that is 76. So there is no 76, so we're rounding down to the nearest, and that is Bellsprout, green on the cover. Not battling Team Rocket this time, but green on the cover. So we are going to try our best, and I have 2 different books that I know I can read for this one, so I'll have to, we'll get there next, like now. Okay, anyways, here we go. Okay, so another book that I didn't get to this month, like I said I was going to, in the video where I posted I'm throwing out my entire November TBR for this one book. Did I read that book? No, I did not. I thought I was going to get a lot more reading done during my Thanksgiving weekend because my parents were visiting and all of that. I did 0 reading, none whatsoever. So I did pick Bellsprout, which is a green cover. And for this one, I am going with A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins because I do really want to read this book before I go and see it. It just came out. I do want to get to this because I still want to see this movie while it's still in theaters. I heard it's better than the book, so I don't want to go into the movies because if I see the movie before I see the book and then really like it, my expectations will be really low and I won't want to pick the book up. So I'd rather read the book first and then go into the movie. So that's kind of where I am, but I do need to read this. I just finished all the Hunger Game books for the first time ever. So I'm finally on this book and it just kind of was the perfect time because the movie just came out. So yes. So now onto the Pokemon that I need to level up. My natural hair is a little fuzzy today. So, okay. So I'm leveling up some Pokemon. The first one is, pull out my Pokemon that I'm leveling up. So the first one I am trying to make sure that I read to level up is finally Squirtle. I still have only leveled up Squirtle once. So trying to get to that. And for my standalone book, I am going with A Dance with the Fae Prince, a Married to Magic novel by Elise Kova. And so this one, it's been on my shelf for quite a long time. Katria, I feel like I'm saying her name wrong, swore she'd never fall in love. She's seen what love means through the cruelty of her family. So when she's married off to the mysterious Lord Fenwood for a handsome price, all, whatever her name is, wants is a better life than the one she's leaving. Feelings are off the table, but her new husband makes not falling in love difficult. So it's a standalone, kind of long, but I'm reading it and loving up Squirtle. So there's that one. And then the next one, so I have 3 more days left to get my Geodude back from Team Rocket. I'm gonna do it. I don't have that much left. Might do it today or tomorrow, but I'm gonna do it nonetheless. So I will be able to level up my Geodude, which is YA Continued. So for that one, I'm going with Insurgent by Veronica Roth because this is one of those books I said I had to read or so on and so forth a couple of videos ago. I know, I'm like a broken record with that video a couple of videos ago. Yeah, whatever. But Insurgent is the second book in the Divergent trilogy, and I had read this one before like 10 years ago or something like that, probably a little less, like 8 years ago, but I never did finish the last book because I heard the ending was horrible, but I'm dedicated now. So I am going to read or reread book 2 so I can finally get to and finish the third book, but I need to read this one or reread it first. So for this one, continuing a YA. And then I want to level up my Ekans, which is to read a thin book. And for this one, I'm going with The Meanest Doll in the World by Anne M. Martin, Laura Godwin, and pictures by Brian Selznick. And it's because half of this book is just literally pictures in giant text. So it is a thin book. If you take all that out, it's going to be like nothing. So I am going to be reading this one. It is the second book in the Doll People, one of my favorite like elementary, early middle school like books is the Doll People, or was the Doll People. And I never finished the entire series. I didn't even know there were like 4 books in this series. I thought it was like a standalone book. So now that I know that, I did recently, just a few years ago, reread the first book, The Doll People, and now this is book 2. I've decided I want to read all the books because why not? I'm a booktuber. It's my job that I'm not getting paid for. And then last but not least, let me get it. I have Ditto, and the theme for Ditto is deception, and I want to level up my Ditto. And for this one, I am going with Things Hoped For by Andrew Clements. This is another book. I just thought it was a standalone when I was in middle school. The first book to this is Things Not Seen by Andrew Clements. Never knew there was 3 of these books. It's like a whole trilogy, had no idea. So I'm going to read book 2, and that will level up my 4th Pokemon, and that will get me to reading all of the books I want to by the end of the year, plus a couple fun ones as well. So we'll see. But most of these books, I think, okay, so all these books, so Saint I have, but I also got it on Libby. Touched by Fire, I have on Kindle, because I bought it, like I said. A Ballad of Sunbirds and Snakes, I don't, so I will have to read that before I leave for my trip that's like, I think I fly out on the 19th, so I just had to finish that, which I want to finish it way before that so I can go see the movie. Percy Jackson, I have on Libby. I got rental for it, even though I have the physical book. And then Dance with the Fake Prince, I have on Kindle Unlimited because I have that, even though I have the physical. Insurgent I have, but I also got that on Libby. And then The Meanest Doll in the World, I think I'm going to just try to dedicate like just reading that through one of these days. It shouldn't take me that long because of, like I said, big font, lots of pictures, so on and so forth. And then Things Hoped For by Andrew Clements, I also have on Libby. So I have travel books, plane books, vacation books, and I have them so I don't have to like take them with me physically, which is really nice because that could be a headache while flying. So there's all of that. But those are all my books that I want to read physically. Here they are, plus the 2 I have digitally, you know, on my Kindle. But otherwise, this is a nice, you know, I guess this reminds me to take my thumbnail, so I should do that right now. Okay, anyways, that is my December TBR. Like I said, long, big, ambitious, and I told myself I was not going to be as ambitious. So let's see if I'm going to be dedicated and motivated enough to read all these books, or if I'm just gonna hate myself and put myself in a reading slump for January. We'll see. But anyways, I hope you like, comment, and subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys all next time. I love. Bye.